You know, when I became a priest, I asked God that if He can only give me 3 years and I work, then I leave this world would be enough. Because in my reflection, I said, Jesus worked for only 3 years and He made a great impact in society, in the community. If I can only also use only 3 years to work, even if it takes me, it is okay. Okay? And then every year I see He adds more and more. Now it's 25. I thank God. I have no regrets becoming a priest. All the challenges I've met have been supported because my motto was, call on me and I'll answer you and I'll show you great secrets of which you knew nothing. And also that I can do anything in the name of Him who gives me strength. I can do anything. So I have no regrets because any challenge I go into prayer. Anytime, anything, I go into prayer because He's the one who called me. I expected that and I was well formed and I knew where I was coming, that I would find trials, I would find challenges, misunderstandings, and people who understand me, but then I have to be focused and understand what I'm supposed to do. So all those things I was expecting. I've met all of them, okay? But because I pray, because I go before the Blessed Sacrament, because I say my rosary every day, because I say the Mass every day, because I have a devotion to Saint Jude Thaddeus and Mother Mary, I have a devotion to the martyrs of Uganda, I found everything possible before God.
Siffe twali abantu abalinawo. Twali bantu nga Katonda bw'aleeta kyaleese kye tugenda nakyo. Taata waffe yali mulimi naye okusinga yali nnyo mulimi mu by'emmwanyi. Maama wange ye yali atulabirira waka nga alongoosa lusuku lwe n'okutulabirira n'okutuyambako ku busente nga bw'onooga maama siinaawo kitabo siina penso n'akwata ssente z'abaayinawo n'akuwa.
Okulima kwamunyumiranga n'okusoma ng'asoma nnyo. Bwe yamala okusoma n'adda awaka n'annimira n'aga nti njagala nnime, maama nkulekere emmere nze nsoma, ngenda kusoma. Ng'amaze wonna ng'alima mmwanyi ng'asimba emmere.
Faaza Muwanga ate ye yali muto nnyo ku ffe. Ffe tuli bakulu. Yali active nnyo mu kwanguwa obuyonjo. Nze kwegamba bw'akugamba ekintu nga tokiriiko nga ye akyekolera mangu nga agenda ku ssomero ng'adduka ng'agenda. Naye nga bazadde baffe baayagalanga nnyo tuveewo nga tumaze kulima.
Father Muwanga okutuwengetiko mumanya, namumanyira ddala okuva mu mwaka gwa 8 nga tusoma enkookooma. Father Muwanga twavira ddala mu kibiina ekyokuna nga tuli naye. Yali musajja mukumi wa budde. Kubanze gwolaba amanya nze ndi musiraamu, naye ate omusajja yali si musiraamu, naye ng'ate mukwano gwange wa ku mutima. Era nga n'olunaku olwokutaano atukubiriza nnyo okugenda ku muzikiti nga ye wadde takola ki tagenda. Ekirala ng'ayagaliza era nga bwe muba mu kibiina n'alaba ng'oleeta omuzannyo nga mukwano gwe akubuulirira nnyo kiki ekyakuleeta ku ssomero. Ekyo kyatuyamba okuba naffe nga twateekayo omutima ennyo ku bye twaliko, okumwefaanaanyiriza nga bwe yali ayagala nnyo, naffe tuteekayo omutima ogwagala nnyo, kyatuyamba okukola obulungi ne tusobola naffe okuganyulwamu.
Tuba tunaaba tuli manju eyo, tunaaba jjajja ali mu nju, tunaaba aŋŋamba nti baaba nti naye mpulira nga njagala kugenda mu busosodooti nange ngende mu seminaari nsomeko. Kubaze ddala okikakasa muli okiwulira nti ye nti kale si kibi, kiba kirungi nnyo, naye ndowooza kyojja okukola genda ewa taata omunnyonnyola ebintu ebyo. Era kyekyo kye yakola. najja ewa taata mba ndi awo era wiiki y'emu aga nti ete nagenze ewa taata ne munnyonnyola n'akugamba atya yakkiriza ti awo nno ekitegeeza mulina okugenda mu bulo olina okugenda mu bulo n'otegeeza abakulu. Kaakati abakulu bwe baategeera ekintu ekyo ekigambo ekyo twalabira awo bbaluwa ng'emuyita ku yintaviyu enswanjere.
Omwami wange mukristaayo era twalinga tusabira mu kkanisa eyo ey'ebukoto mweyangattira n'amuwagira nnyo 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 buli kintu kyonna ekyalinga kyetaagisa yakisobolanga okukimuwa.
Edward Muwanga yansanga Enyenga nga ndi musomesa Enyenga. Najja omwaka ogwo nzijukira gwali guvudde Nswanjere nga baali bayise mu bizibu eby'entalo ez'obudde obwo. Nswanjere yeetooloddwa ebibira kati obudde bwonna babeeranga mu kabenje kabayeekera bano kakati bwe baatuuka Enyenga twabaaniriza ne tutandika okubazza emitima kakati Muwanga okuva mu 1986 namusomesa eddiini ne biology nzijukira bulungi. Ate n'ekirala mu seminaari yo tubeera n'enkola ey'omuvubuka okulonda omusosodooti gwe tuyita spiritual director amuyamba amulambika mu by'omwoyo. Kakati Muwanga Edward yannonda ne tubeera naye nga tutambula mu bulamu obw'omwoyo. Kyemujjukirako nti yali mwagazi wa Sappule ate n'ebibiina by'enkola enkatoliki nga muntu mwegayirizi era nga muyonjo kuba nzijukira mu kiseera ekimu yalabiriranga n'ekkereziya okuyonja kkereziya nga muntu muyonjo. Ekirala Edward oyo yayagala nnyo nature. Twakolanga naye ku compound nga tusimba naye ebimuli okusimba emiti era nzijukira olumu waliwo father yali amwogerako n'agamba nti you mean that boy who looks after trees religiously, nga akiyita na religiously nga kikulaga devotion gye yalina ku nature, ku miti, ku bimera ate ne ku bantu banne kuba yayagalanga nnyo banne.
Father Muwanga yali muyizi mukakkamu ate nga amukozi mu kibiina ng'afaayo nnyo ate era nga musanyufu. Yali musajja musanyufu newankubadde ng'okuyiga kwabanga kw'amaanyi naye era ng'omusanga musanyufu. Ate yali musajja wa kiwago. Enyenga tutera okwogera kigambo constitutionally strong and enjoys good health. Era bwe yali tutera kubeera wansi nti ate ndi mulwadde wakiki nga mukozi n'emirimu ate nga omusajja w'amaanyi bw'atomiza nnyo nga ali jento talina muntu gwalumyako kye twasinga okumwewuunyako nga wabeera mu kisaawe bazannya talina gwalumya ate oba musindike kubanga nnyina amaanyi naye nga wazannya bulungi nnyo nga musanyufu.
But we found ourselves together in Kinyamaska in the year 1996. So we completed together the 4 years. That's why we met as seminarians at the end of our training. But what I know about him, very calm, was more invested in liturgy, very steady, and he looked more a bit elder than some of us in discipline. So he was a simple man. Some of us were here and there kicking football, dancing. He was not there. So we saw him as somebody very gentle that could not disturb anyhow. Maybe we went to him for some kind of an advice from him. So he was not a man that would just moving here and there. That was Edward Muwanga.
At the Karatibaka Cathedral, His Eminence Cardinal Wamala ordained us. We were 6 of us. We had Father Joseph Chirumira, Father Dominic Savio Abok, He's now a teacher in Nyanga Seminary. Then we had Father Busulwa Joseph. He's now in Canada. Father Chizito Chiyimba. He is a born of Ntinda Parish, but he's a Jesuit. I was there also. Father Edward Muwanga from Bolo Parish, and now I'm here in Ntinda.
I know one thing is that the family of Father Muwanga was so good, so loving, so amicable to anybody, and so cooperative with the non-Catholics, so much so. And it was proved when he became a priest. Wow. The organizing committee was, the majority of the organizers were not Catholic, were Muslims. So that we are pleased to see that they are defeated in well in the certain area, and yet they are very practicing Catholics. And we loved that sort of relationship which the parents showed, and therefore even Muwanga as a young boy, he was showing that kind of spirit which he had inherited from his parents, dealing with anybody so easily. And so when he came to the celebration of his first Mass, every Muslim was saying, I must be on that committee. I must be on that organizing committee. And we loved that sort of spirit of togetherness which we experienced at his ordination.
Before I became a priest, we had many challenges at home, spiritual challenges. I thanked God when I became a priest, and I said, now I'm going to pray for the break of many of those things in my family. So I have had masses. We try with my brothers to mobilize them so that we work together as a family, and we work together with my family to improve our lives, maybe at home and wherever we are. And another thing is that God gave me good people whom I've served. They have been very supportive to my family. They take care of my mother. They go and visit her at any moment. They support her when she's sick, when she's lacking anything. Whether I know or I don't know, my mother is loved so much by many of my Christians. They support her in all ways. Many of them support my siblings and many things, so medication and all that. Certain things I wouldn't do myself, and of course I don't have those funds and resources to do that.
So we are happy for Father Edward Muwanga, who comes from Bulo Parish, to be appointed at Christ the King Parish. That's number one. Number two, it was an opportunity for us to visit him and to share a meal with him at Christ the King and the Vicar General, Posemo Gere. It was the point of entry for us into Christ the King. And he shared with us life at Christ the King. And also we had an opportunity once in a while to concelebrate Mass with him. We tell him at what time are you celebrating Mass, and then we come and join him, or even ask him to give us a chance to lead the Mass. So we are proud of him to see our classmate working at the heart of the city and in a most privileged parish, and was so welcoming. So Christ the King became a home for us.
His appearance and walking tells you more about him. If I may recall, I think we had a challenge at Christ the King as Bavubuka. You know Bavubuka, for the youth at Christ the King. We used to get, outings, so many times of outings. And one time I think we took long to have an outing because his predecessor was not in for that. So he came in to help us and get organized, and we got organized. And he helped us also to form an association called the Souls. The Souls are the former Christ the King youth We are about 30, and apparently now is our patron. He's our patron with souls, and we have a platform. That's the major, he's the one who began and the one who initiated that Soul's Friend, and also boosting the youth by organizing the kind of entertainment, especially when we used to move out at Nabinonya, and used to, to invite many priests to come and give us direction. And I'm very sure all of us who went in his hands, we are, at least I would say, we are very proud of him.
For me, my background, I'm an Anglican from my family. But then for my primary and secondary school, I've been studying in Catholic schools. So I felt that I needed to become a Catholic. So when I went to Christ the King Church, I found Father Muwanga and another catechist called Mr. Baguma at that time. So they took me through how to become a Catholic. And he himself, Father Muwanga, instructed me with Mr. Baguma. And they took me through what it means to become a Catholic and a lot of things. Thereafter, I got the instructions and I was confirmed at Christ the King Church. And Father Muwanga took me up as a child and was ready to teach me a lot of things about the Catholic Church. Told me now that you've entered a new religion, you have to listen to Radio Maria. Listening to Radio Maria, you're going to learn different prayers and they're going to help you. So I appreciated that, and surely I really got devoted to Mother Mary.
Yeah, for me, I was a major seminarian after my 5th year at St. Mbaga's Major Gaba, and I was appointed to Swanjere Minor Junior Seminary for my pastoral work. That's where I found Father Paul Semogerere, now the Archbishop of Kampala. By then was the Vice Rector. There is also Father Muwanga Aloysius, was the Rector of the seminary. Yeah, that was 1985, and I was for my pastoral work. So I met Father Muwanga as a young boy in P7. So I was a teacher by then, and they used to call us Master. So little did I know that I would become a priest and become maybe my predecessor in Naguru. So that's what God's ways are not our ways.
For me, I came to know Father Edward Muwanga in the year 2001. That's when he was posted to Our Lady and St. Jude Parish, Naguru, from Christ the King, which was his first appointment. Now, since I was running all the activities of St. Jude devotion, that is like novenas and others, automatically we started working with the Father Muwanga. There were 3 priests by that time when he came. There was Monsignor Anatoly Kamya, who was the parish priest, then Father Joseph Ruzindana, and then Father Muwanga. We traveled with Father Muwanga thrice when we are going to see devotees. The most funny one was when we went to Kabale. You know, Kabale is a very big town. There is a parish called Christ the King. That is the parish which had invited us. But reaching the parish, do you know what the parish priest told us? You are going to the sub-parish. And where the sub-parish was, if we are not really real, you would say, Father, why don't we go back and sleep at the parish? But Father Muwanga slept wherever they prepared us to sleep. And we gave the information. And Kabale has very many devotees.
From there, we went with him to Chitabi Parish. Chitabi, we reached around, he was the one driving. We were two. We reached there. Father we had to teach the whole night. We didn't sleep. Imagine we traveled and we never slept. So Father Muwanga was showing that he really loved the devotion.
This parish has so many young people, and naturally young people could blend very quickly with young people. So Father Muwanga was able to blend with the young people very quickly, and he was able to strengthen what we normally call the youth ministry. He was also able to blend in with the schools. He actually was immediately assigned the chairperson of the school management committee of Our Lady at St. Jude. One thing is so remarkable that the population of the school rose so fast, or so, it boosted. It became very, very, very big, almost 1,500 students, children or pupils, and even the performance improved very drastically. I must mention that he was also a very dynamic priest. He moved through the parish. At the time it had 7, 8 small Christian communities. He was able to move to see, by that time Naguru Housing Estate was still in place, to move and visit most of the people. We have also the 2 institutions of the children, the Naguru Reception Center, which is a very unique institution. It's a government institution, but we relate with it very much because they are actually our immediate neighbor. They are right in our nose. And their needs are unlimited, but including also the spiritual needs.
Myself, Christine Kajumba, I used to work at Naguru Reception Center, a facility for children, which is just nearby here. So every morning, the children would do praise and worship and sing. So I think Father was wondering, who are those people? Early morning, they are singing, they are praising, and they are making noise. Children make noise. That's a place for children who in need of care and support, owned by the government of Uganda, and I was in charge of that place. So he came and said, I think he asked from the other priests, and I told him, no, there is a place for children there. So he came to see. When I saw him at the gate, I knew this was our new priest. He has come to check on us. So he came in, I welcomed him, and he talked to the children, and that was the beginning of our relationship. The relationship with the institution and the children, and the relationship with me as a person and my family, because we used to live in the same place.
Bweyafuna obwabwana mukulu, obulamu ne butandika okukola ki? Okutwangwira, kuba yalabika yatufaako nnyo okulaba nti atuzimba, atuwa amagezi nga naffe tufuba nnyo okumwebuuzaako. Ekisomesa ne kigenda nga kiddamu amaanyi okusinga nga bwe kyali, kuba olwo omukulu yatukwatirangako nnyo okufuba n'okutuweereza abakulu abajjanga okusomera wano, oba ye yennyini nga yajja n'amala okusomera wano, then naddayo e Naguru. Kati awo lwe yali entandikwa ng'ekimu ku bisomesa bye ebya wano ebiri mu parish y'e Naguru. Ne tutandika okukola ki? Okulaba nti we twali wali wafunda. Kereziya nga ntono. Nga n'abantu batandise okukola ki? Okweyongera okujja mu church. Kwegamba naye n'ayongeramu amaanyi n'okutuwa amagezi ge yatuwanga tusobole okugenda mu maaso okuzimba kereziya esingako awo. Era ekintu ekyakolebwa. N'ategeka pulaani zino zitandika okukolebwa, ate nga olwo tutandise n'okufuna bannaffe abawerako wano ez'okutusobozesa okufuna kereziya esingako eri gye twalina kuba kereziya eyo yali wali emabega nga ntonotono naye nga tusoma kati najja ne plan yafuna ng'olwo tutandise n'okufuna development committees.
When I joined here, I found a young priest by the name of Father Edward Muwanga. I've worked with him 15 years, and I would like to clearly state that he's a man who is reliable. What do I mean? Father Muwanga is a trustworthy person, and what he promises to do, he does it. Father Muwanga is a good communicator. He doesn't want to sit with the information. He wants the information to flow, which is a strong tool of you listen and you give a feedback. So that's a very big skill which Father Muwanga has. Father Muwanga is a team player. He does not do things alone. He wants to make sure that things are done through teamwork, which is a strong skill. And lastly, I think Father Muwanga was born to be a priest because he likes his call. Father Muwanga, lastly, is there for everybody. Whether we are with him or not, Father Muwanga will be with you.
And as you can see, there's this tradition that the priest stands outside the church to greet everybody who is getting out of the church at the main door. So, which shows you that he really wants to know his parishioners, and he connects with the parishioners. And then too, he's focused. He has a vision, and he executes his work very well. That means he really plans it out very, very, very well. And if he says, I'll do this, he really fulfills it. He actually does it. He loves systems. He really, really loves systems. So everything is really structured here. We have the accounts. The accounts here are audited. We have a finance committee. So you find that every activity is really well structured, how it's done. That's why we even have manuals, procurement manual, human resource manual. We have the finance and accounting manual. So everything is in systems, everything is structured. That's the way he operates. He likes structures and systems. He's also a good listener because in every meetings he attends, he does not impose things as a parish priest. He listens, and he lets people take control. If you have an idea and you bring it, he will listen, and then we will discuss it as a committee. And then at the end of the day, what the committee decides is what you actually follow, if it's the right thing within the Catholic Church.
He believes in his personal convictions, and he would actually take a step higher to chase this vision, regardless of whatever that comes by. Even when you are not on his side, in regards to his vision, he will actually persuade you and incline you to believe in his vision. So, in a brief, he's very persuasive. Apart from being visionary, he's persuasive. And apart from being persuasive, he takes a step higher to actually show you that his vision is actually for the right cause. Not for his personal gains, but for the good of the people of God that he's serving.
I have been in the business leadership at top level, but I did not think I would be into church leadership. And he had seen that potential in me, and he kept coming to talk to me, including the head of laity, and said, you can do something, you can make a change, you can cause a change in this parish. And I am very happy that he introduced a leadership orientation program, which was running, I think, for about 90 days. I was part of the first cohort of that leadership training. And it entirely helps us to understand the expectations of the church and what we have to do when we are leaders in the church. I am glad that he introduced that. He was able to see further than we had seen. And as I speak now, we have so far had 3 cohorts of that leadership program. And many of our members, I think the total should be about 80 persons who have gone through that leadership program. So in that way, he was able to mentor us on the spiritual side and on the leadership side. If you look at the committee that I am working with today, the entire committee of 10 men has been through the orientation program on leadership. So we all speak on the same page. When we sit, we understand what is expected of us, and that is how we are able to deliver and have strides in the men's guild over the years.
He has both sides at work. When he's a parish priest, just know he wants the things done the way they should be. Accountability for everything, he wants that. And then when it's time to, for example, to have those light moments, we still enjoy, because he can even supply some wine or whatever.
Father Edward is a servant leader and he's a foot soldier. I remember during COVID-19, the early start, when people were afraid of the virus, some of us used to try and come to church and everyone had disappeared, but there was food in the stores. I remember seeing Father maybe asking me about getting the sacks ready to, measure the maize flour, the beans. And people came, I remember it was this side, they came lining, irrespective of the denomination, Muslims. And, he was still concerned about people and their well-being, even during COVID. Many people were like, they are putting themselves at risk, he's putting himself at risk, because people had disappeared.
He's always looking at unity. That's one thing which has come across so much, especially in the Catholic Women's Guild. Whenever we have challenges or anything like that, and I would go and talk to him, you'd always look at working together. That's one thing he always says, working together as a family of God.
He used to love my family. I used to live in Tinda 2 Road, Naguru. He was, I think, the first priest to come and, celebrate Mass in my house.
Father Muwanga is a very hard-working person, because most of the time he was almost alone in this parish. He would get some priests to help him here and there, but he has managed the parish almost single-handedly together with the Christians.
Orderliness, that is number one and very key. Punctuality, orderliness, attention to detail, those are his attributes. So if you have a program, you're presenting a liturgical program, you need to give him a detail, including the time. We are going to have an offertory procession, and it shouldn't be more than 5 minutes. We are having this, it shouldn't take beyond this time. So he's a very orderly man. And I think you can see this with his handwriting. People with nice handwritings are also very orderly. So orderliness. But of course, he's also passionate about liturgy. Very passionate. He wants to be involved in what brings people together.
Father Muwanga made a turning point in my life. That's way back 16 years down the road ago, when I lost my dear husband, the late Francis Xavier Rule. Father Muwanga came to say Mass in my home. I was not spiritual at that time. I wasn't active. I wasn't even coming to church. But the Holy Spirit in my heart told me that if Father Muwanga has come to pray for your friend, now, when you go, who will come to pray for you. The burial was on a Monday, and the following Sunday, I was the first in the small church. By then we had a small church before this one. I came as early as 5 a.m. The commitment I've embraced to date. I love the morning mass. I come very early at church, as early as 6:15, and lead the rosary. So that's my turning point.
He's very committed to what he's doing. He's very time conscious. He's very strict at some point. He's not a joke. When it means to work, you really see that now he needs the result, which inspires me that he has moved me, it has changed me to improve on my working style.
I've gotten to understand Father Muwanga is this person who has taught me to live a life of purpose.
I think Father Muwanga is very developmental.
Very hardworking, resilient, devoted.
So Father Muwanga can be committed when there's need, very committed. He has time for the Christians.
He's a person who wants to ensure that we are resourceful in nature. So as we serve the Lord, but also your resources multiply.
He's goal-oriented and very hardworking.
He's a personal friend. He's really a friend. Ye muntu gwe nsobola okugenda ne mubuulira buli kimu. Ne mpulira nga mpewedde.
Then another thing I've seen in him is when we were putting up this building, he had a nice strategy which I think other priests could do. In terms of fundraising, he had a strategy which I admired what he was doing.
If he points out something to be done, I guess he will not sleep before that thing is done. Yes.
The very first thing that I can't forget about him is that whenever he touches something, he ensures that it is done at its best.
Kati nze Father Muwanga, muntu wa byankulaakulana, azimbye abantu, mwetowaze.
He encouraged me to enter into leadership despite my refusal. He encouraged me to become a leader as a good Samaritan. So from there we bonded. He would teach me how to read because I had never thought I would go into the church community and talk and do this. And indeed he did a good job in me. After that I introduced him to my husband. They became inseparable. My husband loved him because he's a hard worker, a very good listener. He's resilient. He has boundaries.
He's a father for all. For example, if you go to the Christian communities, even Muslims address him as father, or your father wafe, or your father wafe. So he is a father for all. He doesn't, regardless of the religion, the background.
Ndi musanyufu nnyo okulaba nga mwannyinaze akaali akateeno nga katuuka okukula eri obwafaaza, naye nga ebyo byonna nga bikyali awo. Nze mbadde nsaba yeeyongere agende ku bwa bishopu, kubanga tuzaalibwa tetumanyi, naye Katonda byonna yabikola. Amwongere omukisa, yeeyongereyo, akyalina amaanyi, Mukama ajjamuwa obusobozi.
First of all, I wish to thank all the people that have turned up for this celebration. Thank you so much. Secondly, I want to thank all people who have supported me on my journey to priesthood, okay, in my training, and also from the time I started to work, all the people I've worked with, all the people who have supported my ministry, who have advised, who have prayed for me, who have given me any kind of help to make sure I remain a priest for these 25 years. Thank you so much. And I want to say, because I'm not a saint, I've done many mistakes. If I've done any mistake, if I've offended you, anything, I'm sincerely sorry. Very sorry. And just pray for me to be a better person. And the message I give to all that I've touched, whose lives I've touched, and those who come, please just focus on Christ. Have your faith in Christ. In God, nothing but God. With God, you'll win. With God, anything will be well. Just that. Just look at Christ. Don't, well, if you are Muslims, look at Allah. Look at Muhammad, what God tells you, do what is expected of you. If you're a Christian, look at Christ, and that's it. There is nothing. Do what God wants you to do.
But I think 25 years, it has gone very fast, but he has done a lot as far as pastor work is concerned. So I continue to say that he's a great guy, and I continue to pray for him. He may continue like that. Yeah. And his humbleness, because being a priest, you're supposed to be humble. He has done it. He has been very exemplary and love people. And he has been loving them. You know, he has people, if you love them, they're very, very big resource. They can do whatever they like. And we have, it's a good example we have got from the people of Ntinda, that once you really available, you do what you are supposed to do, the Christians, they will love us. And they have loved him, and let them continue. Let him continue to love people. As Jesus, when he was going back to heaven, he said that love one another. So in the next 25 years, let him continue to love people. I'm sure the Almighty God will give him eternal kingdom.
If he's giving me even more years, and now I'm aiming at 50, I'm looking at 50. I want to look at the 50, so that, yes, within these next years, I'm able to do. The energies will not be as much. I will not be as strong as I am young now, but I will do my part. And I'm ready. I have some experience of what it means. I will be more available to my bishop and other priests and the people of God. I will serve until the Lord says, yes, come. And I want to even now to be a better priest than before. I want to pray to God that I'm a better priest. If yes, I have done many mistakes. Now I want to make sure that I am a better person than before. I'm excited, super excited with what is coming ahead of me.